Hello, my friends. Russell Wright from networkempire.com. I really want to express my appreciation for everybody making it to this webinar. And there's a few interesting things happening today. Sue Bell will be on a little bit later on, and she's going to run through the DWS. And if she doesn't make it, I'm going to insert a DWS demo for DWS Lite that she recorded previously. Okay. This webinar is Video Website Silo Architecture. And this is really about the ultimate conversion persuasion architecture combined with technical SEO. I know that there are people here from all kinds of walks of life. We have people from the agencies, we have industry leaders from around the world, including internet marketers that make well over $100,000 a month. We also have people here who haven't made money online at all. And I really do believe that video website silo architecture and video conversion and video focus is kind of the unifying force, or the fractal attractor, if you will. An organizing principle is a better way to say it. That's going to bring together a lot of things for everyone at whatever level you're at. Okay, and so let's go ahead and just get started. I'm going to be walking through the brain. The brain is just a way for me to keep organized. Let me see if I can get into presentation mode here. So we know this is an image of the video website silo architecture. You can see the only difference really is that there's videos on each page. We still have the silo landing page and the unique product aspect and the video, non-video supporting articles. It doesn't really matter if you use video or not, but we just want to add video. So we're going to get right into talking about why we built this course. So what is website silo architecture? Just really simply, it is a conversion, overlap of website silo architecture, which we're going to talk about in a moment for those of you who are brand new and have never been introduced to this concept before, and persuasion architecture, which is really about the conversion of the site. So SEO means search engine optimization. ECO means engagement conversion optimization. And we want you to have the best possible ranking for that. You see, that's the best possible ranking and the highest possible conversion. Okay, you can see that the sweet spot is there. So SEO, search engine optimization, is overlapping with ECO, or engagement and conversion optimization. Engagement is becoming the name of the game, you guys and gals. Even Google is opening a new agency firm called Google Engage. It's all about engagement, not so much about website and SEO as much anymore. It's one small part of a larger system. We're trying to prepare you for what's coming. All right, so what is website SEO silo architecture? Well, just really quickly, website silo architecture is the ability to organize your internal linking structure in your site so that the search engines know what you're talking about. If you're on a category page, for example, and you're talking about something that's on a silo page and you link back to it, the search engine spiders kind of metaphorically view that link with the keyword, or even not a keyword, but they view that link as kind of a shout. A hyperlink you can consider a shout. Regular text you can consider a whisper. I hope that that metaphor doesn't confuse you, but that's the best way for beginners and intermediates I've been able to describe linking. If you're shouting a lot about a specific keyword or topic, and that via a link or a hyperlink, and it's pointing back to another page, when the spiders come and follow that link, it's going to seem like if you're shouting a lot a specific keyword via linking to a specific page, preferably a silo landing page, then Google is going to believe that what you're shouting about, the keywords you're shouting about, is what your page is about. And eventually they'll lift you up in the search engine rankings because all your pages that are about that are shouting about that silo landing page. And if that silo landing page has great content and a video and conversion, then you have the ranking as well as the conversion. Okay. Now, we've spent almost 10 years teaching people about website silo architecture since I first learned about it via Bruce Clay in the early 2000s. And so we'll go ahead and just talk about Persuasion website silo architecture. We've actually got a link here. Go ahead and make sure you visit themezoomglossary.com. You can ignore this hard, complicated URL up here. Themezoomglossary.com and go to website silo architecture, or you can click on the brain. I'm going to be giving you this brain embedded in one of the pages, and you can just click on it, and we actually will show you. We'll show you each one of the links that I have, and I add links all the time. Some people really don't like the brain technology, and that's fine. So we can just use the regular PDF or layout that we have. Okay. We have about 5 different formats we put stuff in. So now that we know what SEO, or search engine silo architecture, is all about, let's talk about website persuasion architecture. WPA, okay, where we talk about engagement conversion optimization. Website persuasion architecture is really about using all the techniques, methods, and systems that you've read by great copywriters, design layout experts to have higher conversion where people actually take action on your website. Okay, now here's a quick shot from something that you get as part of the bonus in the website, the video website silo architecture course. This is a grid where I cover some of the best, most well-known and notorious persuasion masters of our time. And this is called the Persuasion Architecture Mastery Comparison Chart. Sometimes in neuroscience, it's been shown that when you compare one thing against another, it gives you a better idea of how and when to use it. The biggest problem my students have when they get into copywriting, persuasion, and conversion, and even neuromarketing and copy manipulation and neurolinguistics programming, they don't really fully understand how to utilize where they should use each type of persuasion method. So in the Persuasion Architecture Mastery Comparison Chart, not only do I give you some of the most powerful methods in the world, like you can see here, Oren Klaff's Pitch Anything book is probably one of the highest end converting, probably one of the highest dollar converting pitch methods and copywriting persuasion methods ever used. But I also tell you exactly where it should be used. So we give a whole other column in here about what type of online medium should you use a particular type of persuasion methodology. And a lot of people leave that out. Even a lot of the great copywriters leave that out. So that's in here. But persuasion architecture is anything that's used to, let me see if I've got a definition of persuasion architecture. Yeah, okay, here's the conversion again. Here's a whole list of things, compelling opt-ins and offers. Okay, you've got a bunch of different things right here on this glossary definition. Okay, we're not going to get into each one, but anything that has to do with getting people to take action on your on your silo landing page or anywhere, for example, is a persuasion element. And website persuasion architecture is the method that you choose to use to make sure that people actually get excited, take action. This will increase time on site, by the way. You can tell that persuasion is happening fairly well if time on site if it's engaging, or at least engagement. It's very good if the time on site is high. And so this is the stuff we get into in the course. All right. Let's go ahead and go back. Okay, so here's what we're going to cover today. I'm going to go over this very quickly because we have a lot to cover. I'm going to do my very, very best. This is some of the most powerful material that I've given away, and it's covering a couple different aspects of our software and disciplines. So I have to work very diligently when we get towards the end to make sure that you don't get confused when I give you the 6 iframe multi-curation punch method, because we're really not talking about website silo architecture with that method. With that method, we're talking about, this is a bonus module I'm giving you to help you quickly flip stories and syndicate via curation to drive traffic to your silo website, your website silo architecture, your conversion site. So we're going to first cover VWSA, connecting our software and our services dots, so that you understand all the things that you have access to inside Network Empire. And many of you, for example, are really super excited about the DWS SEO silo software that goes right into your blog via a blog plugin. It allows you to make this high-ranking infrastructure of SEO, high-ranking SEO infrastructure internally to your site in just a few minutes, where it used to take thousands of dollars of my time and energy and a whole team to do it. Now we give you an amazing system to be able to do that called Domain Web Studio Lite, if you've purchased the basic membership, and Pro if you've purchased the $147 a month for unlimited license. And we're going to get into the connecting of that dot, of all the dots of all of our software. We're going to give you a quick overview of the Domain Web Studio. And again, I'm going to either have Sue come on board or insert her into this particular, video after the webinar is done. And so that's really cool. We're going to give you an overview, and either way you'll be able to see it. Okay, Domain Web Studio Lite is a single license, meaning you can do one website. You can essentially connect one blog with all the data at a time in the $49 a month membership to our Network Empire membership area. And of course you have all the incredible courses and step-by-steps, content curation, Google+, RSS. You have access to our Pain Finder, which we're going to get in shortly. Amazing stuff that you get. But one of the distinguishing factors of DWS Lite and DWS Silo Builder Pro is unlimited blogs. You're welcome to use the Lite version, and when you can just get rid of the site when you're done. What that means is you won't be able to add other silos later on and grow your content. It's kind of like once you plant the plant, if you uproot it by deleting the site, you won't really be able to bring that site back in very easily and grow it further later on. So if you're done using Domain Web Studio and you just like to churn and burn, build quick silos in a blog, and then you're done, and you use our plugin to import it, then you can blow away the website inside this control panel in Domain Web Studio. And when you blow it away, then you can just use another blog. That's DWS Lite. You only get one blog at a time. The Pro version gives you unlimited blogs, okay, DWS Lite Pro, and you can do as many as you want. Many people, and including our agencies, they keep their data permanently in here so they can continually grow their sites, their keywords, their research, and add silos later on. Once you remove it from this, it's very difficult, in fact, almost impossible to connect or synchronize back with your plugin. So we got that question, it's our most common FAQ, out of the way. Also, in the video, I'm going to be showing where Sue goes over Domain Web Studio. The Pro version of Domain Web Studio, the agency version, has several more tabs, and those tabs are for managing outsourcers. You can publish content directly. In the Lite version, you do not publish your content directly from the Lite. Okay, you're going to go into your blog WYSIWYG editor and add everything manually. So this is why we call it Lite, because we took out all the agency kind of steps. But you can still get that structure, that blog infrastructure, and that SEO infrastructure that allows for buoyant page rank. That is the ability for your site to rank for thousands of keywords or hundreds of keywords instead of just a couple, using up to 90% fewer inbound links than your competition, because that's what SEO website silo architecture is all about. The ability to rank higher using much fewer inbound links. It's the whole purpose of the silo structuring. Okay, so we're going to go over that. Quick overview of Painfinder and the Google Plus RSS Maker application. As you know, we've launched Painfinder. This is the version 1.0. Painfinder will go and bring back, for a keyword or a theme, hundreds of questions and the order of which they have been asked, and they are hierarchically ordered in the number of views the question has had on Quora. Quora is one of the fastest ways that, as an expert, that I can drive traffic to a website, specifically high quality traffic. If someone's on Quora, they're fairly intelligent. The intelligence ratio goes way up, and some of the better relationships you'll have come from Painfinder. Finding the pain, or the painkiller article method, and a variety of other systems that we teach our advanced $20,000 certification event members are around questions of the answers, the pain behind the questions, how to extract that. Well, now we've given you an amazing software, and in the bonus module that comes with, that I promised with the video webinar here, video website silo architecture webinar, I'm going to show you something that I normally reserve for paid members in the advanced area, and that is the 6 iframe curation punch method. And it's a little risky to show you something that advanced, but it's really useful. And you can find, even if you don't use all of it, you're going to learn so much in the process of learning that. Because if you answer a question and you start curating people's pains and answering and become a soothing balm on the pains of your market with your products or services, you're going to get a lot of traffic and you're going to get a lot of sales straight away. And in the iframe stacking system, I'm going to show you, you're able to have that help, that solution, permeate a variety of different platforms and give you multiple streams of traffic. Okay. Quick overview: the last keyword tool versus Kraken. Okay. Sue will give you a overview and the relationship of the difference between the last keyword tool software and the Kraken software. And we're also going to show you the price difference. Some of you who've come in at $49 do not have access to TLKT or Kraken. If you come in at that price point, you might want to take a 3-day, buy a 3 or 4 day pass of Kraken for $49 and spend those 2 or 3 days doing your research, and then you can import them into DWS. Or you might want to upgrade to a subscription of the last keyword tool. This is the only natural language processing and co-occurrence keyword tool on the market. I can tell you for sure, we've checked this, we've found nothing. There is no other keyword research tool on the planet that includes co-occurrence, which is really one of the cliff note short, one of the short mechanisms, mathematical mechanisms used as a beginning step in natural language processing and latent semantic indexing. We back engineer all that stuff in a way that Google doesn't even want to give you. We give you the co-occurrence, and this should profoundly affect how you build your silo structures, how you answer the questions, how you integrate your solution towards people's pain, and how you rank quickly, sometimes in less than 15 minutes for deep pains, and your solution becomes predominantly active in someone's mind. Okay, so we're going to talk about that. We're also going to give you the bonus, the 5-step iframe punch. If you include the 6th frame bonus, it's also in there. This is a fast way for you to get content out there in less than 15 minutes when you get good using YouTube, Quora, Storify, Scoop It, your blog, and a few other things. Okay, it's my favorite thing. I actually love it. This system that I use right here is what makes me happy and excited as the blogger for Network Empire to get up out of bed in the morning. Because the drudgery of quickly penetrating into the market and getting all kinds of multiple streams of traffic to your blog for non-evergreen items like news stories and the rest, this is the fastest way to do it. Okay, so the team, hopefully you'll see that the team here is Sue, Kelly, Matt, and myself. Sue Bell is sometimes called the architect. Kelly is often called Boy Genius because he actually is he really is. Kraken, the last keyword tool, it's just crazy brainiac stuff. Super genius programmer. Without him, Kraken and TLKT wouldn't be what they are today. Matt DeCruz, I often call Mr. Synergy because he has such a team effort-minded personality. He also is really KPI oriented, key performance indicators. He really likes to watch and see how the money is working and in the business, and all of our students that coach with him, that are his coaching students and my coaching students, we really focus on making sure that before you even build sites, you're going to make enough money. It doesn't really matter if you're flipping them or what it is that you're doing. Okay, so this is very important stuff. So let's get started. Just a reminder that your empire, your socially activated perpetual downstream traffic system, is really what this is all about. This is the system that we teach advanced certification members. We show people how to glue together their empire via RSS feeds, but all of it begins at ground zero, which is the number 1 on this chart, which is your transaction site. Your transaction site might be built on any kind of platform, you guys. It might be built on WordPress. Okay, but that doesn't mean that it's your WordPress blog roll. There's many kinds of themes in WordPress that you can build a permanent SEO silo structure. Okay, and we build the silo structures mostly out of pages. Okay, because pages get better rankings in general in WordPress, and they're more permanent, and they're not really about blogging. Okay, they're very different than the stuff that I'm going to show you later on today about how to do fast, rapid-fire blogging and story flipping and non-evergreen news stories. In other words, stuff that's going to expire in 2 or 3 weeks or even less sometimes. I still speak to those because I use a very, very quick rapid-fire system I'm going to show you. And this is what I want you to understand, is that your first site that you build, your transaction site, should also be siloed. But this is kind of permanent or pseudo-permanent content. You're addressing questions that are more evergreen. Evergreen means it's going to be around for 2 months or more, preferably much longer. For me, evergreen means a year or more. It's very likely that it'll last a year or more. Now, in the technology industry, things will tend to last less than that. So, 1 year in one industry may be 5 months in my industry. But this, you can see all the different kinds of platforms we use. When we're talking about the socially activated one web ring, we're not really talking about the kind of web rings that get busted where blogs are trying to gain page rank and everybody's buying links from them. And we're talking about your own personal brand broadcast network system where all those platforms, including which is all the dots on the screen here, are platforms that your story, your tweets, your flips, your content, your videos, your curation material can be syndicated to and then communicated and broadcast to a wide audience. Each one of these dots on the screen, each one of these numbers, represent a unique channel of traffic, a unique channel of traffic stream. Okay, so this is really what we're all about. If you haven't heard about the One Web Ring socially activated perpetual downstream traffic system, please do click on the link. We have a great animation that'll help you kind of get it together, and I do generally go over this type of stuff. We do have an educational flash presentation that takes you through it. and you'll be able to see what each step in this process means. Now, even if you're a newbie, this kind of advanced network personal brand broadcast building system is something that you're going to want to do over time. Even if you only have 3 dots on here, you don't have to be overwhelmed instead of 18 or 50, and one of our networks is even 100. That's fine. You don't have to have that right now. Okay, but we just want you to begin to have a vision on how that works and how very cool you automate what you automate what can be automated, and you naturalize what can be naturalized. Don't buy the hype that things can't be automated. It's utter nonsense. But also don't buy the hype that everything should be automated, because in a social network, we have to show our certification students where to automate and where not to automate. So that should be something that you are excited about learning in the Network Empire members area and in our live certification events. Then we're going to move on to video. Let's talk about video website style architecture, the basic workflow overview. Okay. This workflow overview is a super basic. I created it for the absolute newbie to show you how you should utilize the tools that you do have, that you have purchased from us. And I created a simple diagram, a simple PDF stacking diagram. Sue has a more complex workflow that she's going to show you. I'm the person in the company that creates the simple workflows overall. And when it comes to the agency workflows, Matt and Sue cover those. And we have a much, much more granular workflow that I'm going to show you today. A much more granular workflow that I'm not going to show you today. But you're going to have direct access to it in the membership area. Okay, and so let's go ahead and move on to that. So let's talk about it. What is phase 1? What the heck are you selling? Okay, the biggest challenge that I have with students, whether you're advanced or new, is you have to have something to sell. A lot of people come in from places like the Warriors Forum or beginners networks, and they don't even have a product yet because they're looking for an opportunity. I got to tell you that that's not really us. If you still do not have a product, you're learning. Just remember that we don't teach you how to create a product. We don't teach you how to find products. You should go somewhere else to do that, more or less. We have some things. We teach you to build personal brand broadcasting networks. And if you have a brand with no products, you're not going to make any money. Okay, so this is the main thing that we want you to understand, that obviously you need to have something to sell. So I created this phase 1 to remind you your seed keyword is your buy button. This is what you're going to end up drilling into. Okay, for example, if you have a magic card trick to sell, the first keyword you would ever drill into in Kraken would be magic, and the first keyword you'd ever drill into with TLKT would probably be magic card tricks. Okay, or a magic card trick. You might drill into magic in TLKT as well. And the reason you need to know what you're selling is that because you don't know what keyword you're starting from. I know it seems obvious to a lot of you, but you would not believe how many times people who don't have any products spend weeks and months doing keyword research, because what they're doing is they're data mining to try to find products. They're hoping if they find the perfect niche that they can go and decide what to do. And that's not really how it works. I mean, that you can data mine. People do it all the time. But 90% of the people are not that kind of an affiliate marketer where they can go out, find the product, take over the universe, own, literally launch jack everybody's product that's already out there or whatever, or become a super affiliate. There's only a small percentage of people that are that kind of alpha personality. So don't try that if you're a beginner. If you're a beginner, go out and find a good business, a product that you believe in, and then start researching that from the top down, and that's just become better than everybody else. And I would recommend for beginners, you don't hear this a lot. I would recommend for beginners that you love the product that you're selling. I'm going to repeat that. Love the product that you're selling. As you'll learn in a lot of our branding, we teach Simon Sinek. One of the things we teach is Simon Sinek's start with why. You have to start with why, then go to how, and then go to what. If you don't have your what yet, building the brand is going to be, it might be easy for you to build the brand, but you really need to have a transaction to make your brand pay for itself. Okay? So otherwise, unless you want to go nonprofit. So phase 1 is starting with your keyword. You need your keyword. Walk backwards from your buy button towards your keyword. Start with the keywords about what you're selling. Drill into Kraken and TLKT. And then, one thing I would say is that before you even drill into Kraken and TLKT, get your buy button up there. If you've got a product, I don't care if you have a white HTML page with nothing else on it except the buy button. Seriously, I have to tell you, it is true. There are $1 million single website pages. Okay, I've seen them. I've even built some that are highly profitable. I built a one-page site that made $14,000. Okay, so it's everything that's connected on the other side of that page that's important. Okay, so remember, toss that buy button up. For example, one of our courses, if I toss a buy button up, it's going to make a lot of money, and it's only going to be one page, but that's because we have a lot of content and we have a lot of back-end systems running. So get your buy button up first, get the transaction in order if you can, so that you have it up there. Another thing that happened is the first time I ever made a sale online, it's a really funny thing. You get a buy button, if you put a buy button up there, gosh darn it, somebody might click it. Even, this is what I'm saying is like there's something that happens in your brain psychically when you get a buy button up. When you put it up there, I remember handing my business card out one time and the site wasn't even done. The buy button was up, but the rest of the site wasn't ready. They went and bought it from me anyways because it passed word of mouth. So hopefully I'm not beating that dead horse there, but I want you to really, really get that. Nothing's stopping you from making a sale right now. Remember, the money's in the sale. So phase 2 is going to be the theme research, Kraken. Because once you have a buy button up, you most definitely will have a product. And if you have a product up, you're probably going to have a keyword. Okay, at least one keyword. Any keyword will do related to what you're selling. Magic card tricks. For ThemeZoom, you type in the word magic, you drill into it, and it pulls back brilliant keywords in about 9 minutes. This tool is so powerful, it should never have been made. Okay, literally, it's all I use to mill out blogs every day. All right. If you have a long tail like magic card tricks, you can put that into TOKT. It'll give you hundreds of keywords that are latent semantically indexed using natural language processing, co-occurrence. The difference between Kraken and TOKT is that Kraken pulls all of the cost and amount of money that people have spent on all the keywords in the giant pile, and they tell you how much that word, how much AdWords spending there has been on that keyword over the last year. It's called total search market value. The last keyword tool doesn't do that. It only goes one keyword at a time with that. And there's a huge difference. Kraken is like the gigantic nuclear device, and TOKT is like the, I don't know, something not as big as a full global detonation. Okay? Hopefully that makes sense. We're not going to get deep into that, but it's stuff you really want to have. Phase 3 is import keywords from TOKT or Kraken or both, and start building your permanent silo structures for money site using Domain Web Studio. When I say your permanent silo structures, what I mean is not your blog. And I'm going to keep emphasizing that through this webinar today. These are pages that are going to be up a year or more, hopefully. You might do some editing, or there might be some changes, or you might provide. But this is your brochure site. These are your silo pages, your articles that are the most evergreen. Okay, you're not going to be doing things like curation, or it's not your weekly blog post or your daily blog post. Separate in your mind your blog post from your website silo, your transaction site. Yes, you can use website silo architecture on both your blog and your main site. And yes, you can use WordPress for your primary WR1 or your transaction site. Yes, you can. Okay, but what is the main difference? We'll find out here in a second. The main difference is that a blog is something that you're putting out plenty of posts, preferably 5 per week, if not 3 per week. If you can't do that, do 1 per week. Do what you can. And that is what we call frequency of publish. That's your broadcast. Constantly broadcasting. Silo landing page is going to be your site that's structured in a permanent order and is using all the technology of website silo architecture to rank higher for far fewer inbound links than your competition. Phase 4 is to create painkiller videos and articles. Now, what we're talking about here is once you've got the structure laid out, then it's time to add your videos and articles. And one of the great secrets that we talk to our certification students about is once you've determined through the processes that we provide using TOKT, Kraken, and Domain Web Studio Lite or Domain Web Studio Pro, is now you have the perfect keyword tree, literally the theme tree that's worth the biggest pile of money ever. And I can guarantee you're probably better researched on that, where the pile of money with those words are, than anybody else in your niche or market, unless they're using our tools. I guarantee it. Okay, so once you have that done, now it's time to start filling that structure, those pages up with content. And the pages that you're filling up are going to be filled with video or articles. Okay, and there's a variety of ways you can create those. A quick way to create them is using Pain Finder. You can research questions in Pain Finder based on themes and long-tail keywords discovered in previous phases. And what you'll do at that point is you'll find, if you see that 90 people or 90,000 people are looking at the same question on Quora about magic card tricks. Like, how do they stack the decks? That's actually a true question. The number one asked question for magic card tricks on Quora is, how do they do card stacking? Okay, well, my client, who is actually in that industry, is he has a card trick he invented, actually was blown away when I found that for him, and that actually became an article and a video that he created on his permanent silo landing page for that particular product, which was card stacking. Okay, and because he has a product that is so congruent with that, it made sense for him to create a permanent video and a permanent sales page with some permanent information on that page about it. Now he kept it interesting but incomplete, and essentially they had to do an opt-in before he gave them any more information about card stacking. But that's an example which we'll get into here shortly. Okay, so you're going to use that. Let me go back here real quick. You're going to use the Pain Finder software, which is part of your membership, to ask the questions. I'm actually going to demo it here in a second, and you'll be able to pull those questions with the most number of views, or even the least number of answers, and you'll be able to answer the question better and put that on your main site. And incidentally, you can also add it directly to Quora to drive traffic specifically as a unique traffic stream from Quora. Okay, so phase 5 is creating a broadcasting blog with theme mirrored categories. Now, don't get overwhelmed. This is the most difficult slide in this whole presentation. So just relax and realize that this is something that we get our most questions about. Okay, your broadcasting blog, which you see on the far right here, the tiny silo site, is your blog that you're going to be doing your broadcasting posts in your WordPress blog. These are industry news, and you need to have some non-evergreen material going out so that you have a frequency of publish. Things are moving so fast on the web that if you stagnate and you don't republish and create a new ping or a new RSS ping with a new blog post at least once a week, minimum twice a month, then your site will start to lose rankings. It'll start to go stagnant. Unless the content is so mind-blowing and so many people are linking to your blog out in the blog space that you don't even need to add content but once a month, that's highly unlikely and highly doubtful. That would be the only exception. Or you're buying so many links to your blog that you don't need to blog anymore. I seriously doubt that's the case. And by the way, that's not a great way to build a brand. So what I'm talking about here is once you create your perfect silo structure, or at least imperfect website silo architecture structure, then you can mirror that structure on your blog. Now, one of the big questions we get is, can I create my blog, my broadcasting blog, my daily post blog on the same domain as my transaction site is, or my WR1, my WebRing1 transaction site, or do I need to have them on a separate domain? I'm actually doing both. I have networkempire.com/blog is a blog technology that is my broadcast for my non-evergreen, meaning less than a year or less than 6 months content could even be useless in 2 weeks actually. Doesn't matter because I'm getting out there and spreading the news and gathering traffic back to my site by keeping up to date with news. Okay, but I also have networkempirenews.com, which is still non-evergreen. I built that because I was experimenting with some different themes, but that's its own domain on a different C block that provides unique inbound link juice to Network Empire and ThemeZoom. So this is what you call link passing, and what you're doing is passing different link juice and different traffic and different visitors from different domains to a centralized location. Okay, but what I really want you to understand here is if you look on the main money site, that's the large website silo architecture thumbnail here, it doesn't matter to us whether you build that transaction site, that money site, in HTML or a blog or Joomla, or we're working with some people on Drupal. You can DWS, Domain Web Studio, output in XML format, and we can work with you to make it work with anything, any type of system. So it's not just stuck on WordPress. Okay, it works with any other types of thing. Okay, so the main point here is for you to understand that you've got your permanent pages that have great content, anywhere from 750 to 1,000 words or more, with a video at the top of them, preferably. And those articles are pretty much evergreen, if not evergreen, over a year, and they take the most effort to write. Okay, whereas your blog post, your real-time industry news flipping, your company announcements or the company specials that might only be good for 2 weeks or less, or even a day, who knows. When you see how to use Storify and different things and tweets that interact with content curation, you realize that you can put a story together in 5 minutes that generates sales and massive traffic. It's out there for a long time. And even if it's not evergreen, you can drive that traffic in. It actually takes me less than 15 minutes to create a story that generates thousands of visitors. Okay, but that's not the main money site. That's the broadcasting blog. And whether you put that on your main domain /blog or a unique blog, which is yourblog.com, doesn't really matter. It kind of depends on how skilled you are, how much energy you have, and whether or not you want to create a separate domain for extra page rank, or that's just easier for you to use the inbuilt blog. For example, if you're on Drupal, Drupal has a blog system that goes with the main Drupal technology. You might just do drupal.com/yourblog. So it really depends on too many things to answer clearly, but I wanted to address those questions straight out of the gate because I know they come up for people. Main thing here is to know the difference between daily broadcasting on a blog post and creating a website silo architecture with perma content or evergreen content that generally should last a year or greater, okay, which with minor adjustments. And the time it takes to write an article like that is going to be very likely 30 minutes or more, okay, even by an expert. Okay, phase 6 then, once you get all that done, is you properly set up your one feed RSS system for mass syndication. We've got a course that's available to everybody who's a member called One Feed to Rule Them All. It's our RSS marketing course. We also have a done for you system called doneforyou.onefeedtorulethemal.com where we will take that on for you. Okay, so before you start implementing some of the dangerously powerful techniques I'm going to show you today, you need to complete the One Feed RSS course, and you definitely need to have that blog. Remember we were talking about the broadcasting blog? Okay, not so much the silo page, but the broadcasting blog. You need to have the RSS correctly set up so that you leverage your efforts. Yeah, if you have your main site in a blog as well, you should still set up that RSS feed as well. Okay, even though those articles are going to go out only once, it's still a good thing to have an RSS feed on there because it's just a little extra reach. But the main thing you want to make really sure that your RSS feed is active and working is on your weekly, daily, monthly blog broadcasting platform. Okay, that's what we call vlogging, plugging, and vlogging, plugging, and blogging. We'll show you here in a second. Phase 7 is then you start broadcasting your blog, your plug, or your vlog. Does anybody know what a plug is? Yes, a plug is a podcasting blog. A vlog is a video blog. Okay, phase 7 is start broadcasting. If you start broadcasting on the blog, wherever you decided to put it, your blog role, you could use the 5 iframe punch, or you could use the Network Empire Done For You Blog Boost subscription. Again, you could use the 5 iframe punch, which I'm going to show you at the end of this presentation. I've never given that away before. But I want you to see it and decide which parts of it are useful for you. Or you could use any of the traditional means that you've used to get reach on your blog. Okay, Network Empire Done For You Blog Boost subscription is one thing that you can use. Okay, we do offer that anywhere. We can syndicate a blog once a week if you have one going out, or we could do it once every day. We'd have different agency price points for that. Okay, now we're going to talk about the software that we use to accomplish all this. I'm going to talk about all this. In this case, I'm talking about video website silo architecture, but really it's any kind of silo architecture, specifically the technical aspects of how to create the perfect internal linking structure on your site to rank higher for far fewer inbound links than your competition, but rank for thousands of more keywords than they do. Okay, this used to be a real pain manually, costing thousands of dollars. It's become quite easy when you know just a little bit of training. When you have just a little bit of training, you'll be able to leverage the kind of results that your competition would only dream about because it's quite technical for people who don't have a software helping them. Okay, all right. So phase 2 and 3, this is where we talked. Remember we talked about phase 2 and 3. Which is theme research, keyword research, very preferably using a natural language processing tool that thinks like a human, knows how human beings think to overlap market interests so that you don't just do linear keyword research and then you can import them on phase 3 into Domain Web Studio to lay out the perfect money tree. It's really the perfect website silo architecture system. Make sure you have the right keywords with, that are the most profitable. They've been proven profitable based on ad spend, and you're able to literally create this great infrastructure and then output a site really quickly with those numbers, with those profitable words. And what we use for that is Domain Web Studio. So now I'm going to insert Sue here, where she's going to go over the Domain Web Studio Lite Mini-Me, and you'll get kind of an idea of what that software is. And you do have, on the Lite version, even in the $49 package on the networkempire.com members area, you have access to one website in the Mini-Me, and you also have access to Pane Finder, which we'll go over here shortly. So with no further ado, I'll just let Sue jump in here and explain Domain Web Studio Lite.